Hello and welcome to week 12, Designing and Facilitating Powerful Workshops. Here's this week's assignment. I want you to finish reading my book, Turn the Tide. That's just a couple chapters 8 and 9. You'll begin to look at self-care and healing, which we'll cover in a few videos in the future. And I want you to do some more journaling. So choose one difficult triggering workshop situation where you did not respond very effectively. And work through some of these questions. And again, they'll all be in that email. On a scale of 0 to 10, how triggered did you feel? What were your early warning signs that you were triggered? Again, physiological, emotional, thoughts. And then I want you to complete the handout, Journaling the Triggering Event Cycle, and the one just following that, Intrapersonal Roots of Triggering Events. So take that difficult triggering situations where you did not respond effectively and write out all of your reflections and insights to all 7 steps. And then I want you to reflect, what could you have done to exit the triggering event traffic circle? So how at each of those 7 steps could you have done something differently to either respond more effectively before you said nothing, or as you said something, how could you respond differently to recover? So initially, think about how could you de-escalate your triggered emotions enough so you could intentionally choose effective responses. So that would be clearly steps 2, roots, 3, changing your story, 4, those subsequent thoughts, the emotions, the physiological reactions. So what stress release activities could you have done? How could you have bought yourself some time by getting the participants involved in something so you could have done some of those? And again, think about all the steps. 5, how could you have shifted your intentions? 6, what strategies could you have done? And that's what this is. As you look back, what could you have done to respond more effectively at step 6? So therefore, your impact at 7 would have been different. Then I'd like you to review the handouts in the packet to identify other tools that might have been useful. So responding to cross-cultural conflicts and helpful tactics. Just see which ones you've used before, you use regularly. You're like, whew, that's pretty good. I want to add it. And again, like last week, interesting idea, Kathy, but given my group memberships or the context of my organization, that one I don't think will work. And then I want you to find a trusted facilitator. They can be in the course, they can be someone you work with. And I want you to share all your reflections and insights from filling out the journaling and all those other reflections from the worksheets. And then I have a few videos I want you to watch. The first is a clip from my first episode in the radio show. And I want you to notice how I chose to respond when the host, first time we'd worked together, out of the blue asked me a very unexpected question. I want you to consider, what did I do that might have been useful? What could have been not so useful to the listeners? And if you had been in that situation, live radio show, what else might you have done or said given the context and or your group memberships? Then I have 3 other quick clips I'd like you to watch. Strategies to use small group facilitators. What if fewer people show up than you had hoped? And you're like, we have this huge room and only 8 people and I had planned all these experiential activities. What do I do? And then the other side of that, what if more people show up than you had thought or hoped for? The room is tight, you may not have enough handouts, all kinds of things we talked about. So hope you enjoy those. And as always, take all these strategies we're talking about, apply them in the various workshops you're planning, you're doing, you have done, and then send any questions in the forum and or send them me directly, and I'll be able to talk about them on our twice a month calls just for our course members. I hope you have a good week. Take care.